Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. On today's episode of me talking about 7 things, I'm going to be talking about all shelter breaks loose. Before I continue, check out the links in the description below. I would highly recommend the Castaway survey, and it does require a Google sign-in, but feel free to share the link and advocate for who you'd like to see return for a Castaways challenge. Now, at the start of the episode, we find out that Patrick missed his shot at the boar. Jermaine says they need to be patient and wait and not run up on it since they can attack or not want to return to the same spot. Patrick chats with Matt, Max, and Laura about the boar hunt and says he's not a fan of Jermaine. Seems like there will be a partner shuffle soon. Day 11, and there is a scroll. It is migration day. Patrick is ready for a camp switch up, says he'll be opportunistic but not vindictive. Camps are disbanded and they must surrender all earned survival assets. They choose a scroll and will be paired up based on who has the same bird on the scroll. Max and Kaiela are paired up. Darren and Matt, Jamie and Trish, Patrick and Cheeny, and Laura and Jermaine are the pairs. They must build a dome shelter in 3 phases. They must pack and carry it across the finish line once they're done with the 3 phases. The first 3 camps will earn assets. First place gets the choice of 3 assets. Second and third will get 2 assets. The last 2 pairs to finish are not safe. They're all given an equal length of rope, and there is a behind-the-scenes photo that Patrick shared that showed who the 3 pairs that complete the challenge are, and they're all wearing flip-flops, which is very fascinating. And the final 4 placers will face elimination. The challenge begins. We hear about the sap of the rubber tree and how toxic it is. Matt and Darren are working well together. We hear about how Jermaine is getting saplings of different sizes, and that's not ideal. Matt and Darren complete phase 1 first. Phase 2 is the framework, and phase 3 is to cover the shelter with paper bark. Max and Kaiela are the next to complete phase 1. They work well together. Patrick and Cheeny complete phase 1. And then Jamie and Trish complete phase 1. Jamie mentioned it's really hot and that he's cooking in the heat. Jamie wants to use vines instead of saplings for support. Laura and Jermaine are last to complete phase 1, but Laura is worried that they don't have enough saplings of similar size. Laura is experienced and sees the saplings are too small and is worried that their shelter isn't really going to work out really well. And Laura has some experience with the dome shelter because she had to build one during her challenge in Alaska, so she knows what she's doing. But Jermaine wants to tie a bunch of smaller saplings together, and during the process of tying some of the saplings together, Laura is accidentally smacked in the head with one. Matt and Darren and Max and Kaiela are leading the pack and are neck and neck. We hear Cheeny talk, but she has a string in her mouth. I thought that was an interesting continuity error. Patrick wants to get more materials since the vines are flimsy. They lose their rope and Patrick eventually finds it, and it's sort of the stress of everything is causing them to misplace things and make small mistakes, and that could cost them a first, second, or third placement. Jamie is going as fast as he can, but is overheating. Jamie and Trish realize their vines are collapsing and they need saplings for sturdiness. Trish goes to find something sturdy, but unfortunately gets sap in her eye. You know, the toxic sap that we heard about earlier. A producer calls a medic for Trish. She can't see out of her eye. Saline is applied to flush the sap out of her eye. Jamie tries to work on the shelter by himself. Matt and Darren are the first to complete phase 2. Max and Kaiela are close behind, and they begin work on phase 3, which is covering the shelter in paper bark. Cheeny and Patrick then finish phase 2. Jermaine and Laura complete phase 2, and Jamie is very behind and mentions the heat again. Trish is in a lot of pain. Matt has a vine belt to help keep the paper bark on. Once they finish with the shingles and go inside the shelter, they proceed to the final phase, which is deconstruct it and carry the materials over the finish line. Max and Kaiela finish phase 3, first followed by Matt and Darren. Laura needs to sit down because she's not feeling well after getting smacked in the head by the sapling. Jamie is not feeling well either due to the heat, but still tries to push through. Cheeny and Patrick finish phase 3. Trish's eye is irritated and Jamie is seeing colorful spots in his vision. Max and Kaiela get first place. Matt and Darren get second place. And a medic is finally called for Laura after Jermaine is asking her if she's okay, but she's not really responsive. And then Cheeny and Patrick get third. And then with all the medics looking after Jamie, Trish, and Laura, it's chaos around because they're trying to help Jamie cool down. They're trying to flush the sap out of Trish's eye, and they're trying to see what's going on with Laura and see if she has a concussion. And it seems Jamie does have heat stroke and is getting some water and The medics are trying to cool him down and he's resting in the shade. Laura doesn't have a concussion, but she does have whiplash and her neck is very stiff. And Trish's eyesight improve and she is cleared to go. Jamie's symptoms continue and his core temperature is 104 degrees. They try to cool him down and put him in the creek to try and get his temperature down, but the attempts aren't working. Eventually, he does stabilize, and medics say that he needs to be treated at a hospital, and he is med-tapped from the challenge, which means that, unfortunately, Jamie is gone, and he is in 10th place. Hopefully, he can come back, and maybe he can be on another challenge and show off his skills there, and then come back, and hopefully he can not get med-tapped the next time around. And then he does make a full recovery after being med-tapped and taken to a hospital. And because of Jamie's med-tap, Jermaine, Laura, and Trish are safe. Max and Kaiela get a hide, fishing asset, and bow after getting first. Matt and Darren choose a bow and fishing asset since they got second. And Cheeny and Patrick are left with the bow and the rope. The 6 survivalists migrate as Laura, Jermaine, and Trish stay behind because medics want to monitor Trish and Laura. The 3 teams who completed the challenge take their shelter pieces and migrate to Zone 2. Zone 2 is an open highland with little shade. All camps are along a river, so there are plenty of fishing opportunities. The 3 duos settle down. Darren and Matt are a good pair. Matt mentions Kaiela is pretty thin. Patrick and Cheeny have good teamwork. Patrick mentions he didn't like Jermaine telling him what to do, and Cheeny is happy that she's not in the middle of Jermaine and Patrick's drama. Laura is not feeling great due to the whiplash and her neck stiffness, and Trish's eye doesn't feel great and she can't really see anything out of it. That night, medics check on her eye. Her eye is still in pain and the medic recommends she leave, and Trish decides not to go and wants to wait until the morning to see how she's doing. Day 12 and medics monitor Trish and she is clear to continue. Max and Kaiela go fishing. Kaiela gets a fish. Matt and Darren go fishing and they find Kayla's fish, but they don't steal it, which is crazy because someone else might have stolen it, but Matt does not because he doesn't want to try and take from other people in this moment. He wants to get through on his own skills and in his own merit and doesn't want to do anything too sneaky and underhanded. And then Kaiela gets another fish. Patrick practices with a bow and arrow and hears Max and Kayla's cheering. And Darren and Matt also get fish. And then Laura, Jermaine, and Trish are told to migrate to Zone 2, and they will be chosen by one of the other pairs. And the duos will choose a survivalist based on their placement. And then there is a PSR update. Max's building skills and fishing success raises his PSR from 9.5 to 9.6. Laura not working well with Jermaine and being injured decreases her PSR from 9.8 to 9.6. And Patrick's PSR goes from a 9 to an 8.9 because he didn't get a fishing asset. Max and Kaiela got first in the challenge. They got to choose one of the 3 survivalists first, and they chose Laura even though she's injured. And then Matt and Darren choose Trish to be in their group, and then Jermaine is left to go to Patrick and Cheeny's group. And with that, the episode ends. So all in all, a really good and dramatic episode. I mean, most of the episode was spent on challenge day, and unfortunately, we lost Jamie to the heat, but he did make a full recovery, but it would be great to see him come back for another challenge and then another last one standing, or at least another last one standing, but hopefully we can see him back. He created a lot of drama. He was having a little bit of a rivalry with Patrick that he kind of lost when Patrick stole one of his lines, but I think he's a really tough competitor. He just got a lot of bad luck after placing second on the very first elimination challenge, but oh well. I don't know how much longer Trish is going to last in the competition just because of her eye and some of the trailers, and Jermaine being at the bottom of the leaderboard with PSRs is very concerning because individuals with lower PSRs may not make it that much further unless they do something that raises their PSR and they get really lucky. But I don't know how much long Trish or Jermaine will be in the competition, but it'll be interesting to see. Next episode, we have Savage Strategies, and the synopsis for this episode is Matt's tactics spark tension in another camp. Survivalists compete in a primitive axe challenge. After the first big game dispatch, a competitor must choose to keep or share their win. The physical and mental strain of the challenge sends a survivalist home. So it looks like we're getting another tree chopping challenge with primitive axes, so that's fun. And with that, that is the end of the episode. Thank you all so much for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.